What is going on, YouTube? Today I wanted to talk about the best places to buy a Sega Genesis. I've done a few of these in the past, talking about the best places to buy a Nintendo, a Super Nintendo, a GameCube, and stuff like that. And I figured it was time to give Sega its due diligence. I can't even say the word, but we're gonna.
Whoop-de-doo! What does it all mean, Basil?
We're gonna jump right into it now. Honestly, it depends on which model you're looking for, but one of the most common models of the Sega Genesis is Model 2. So that's going to be the one that we're really going to focus on today, is obviously the Model 2. That was the most popular one in here. Now, if you're out of country, you might know the Genesis as the Mega Drive, as that was more of its PAL version and outside the US, as we just called it the Genesis here, I guess. So without further ado, let's jump right into it. So we pulled up the handy dandy pricecharting.com. Now, if you're not familiar with this website, it's a very awesome site that you can go to and search for specific video games, trading cards, comics, anything like that, and they will give you the approximate value of what it is. So what it goes by is eBay listings, Amazon sales, everything like that, to kind of give you a general idea of what this is selling for. And so right here we have the let's see here, the Genesis Model 2. We're gonna switch back. We're gonna switch over to this view because that one's got a better camera. So it looks like loose right now, which is generally just your basic, model where you'll get the console itself, the cords, and maybe one controller, is selling for around $40. So as you can see here, we honestly have our eBay listings already here for us. We don't have to jump on it too much, but let's go ahead and put one for the closest sold one. So let's see here, on January 21st, it looks like one was sold for around let's go down. It was sold for around $40 from a Joey G guy. So this came with Model 2 console with OEM power cord, AV cords, and one controller tested. Shipping was $18, which is a little outrageous for me, but it's what it is. So for approximately $40 or so, this guy picked this up. Now it looks like this guy went all out and he actually disabled the console itself, cleaned it thoroughly, and everything else is OEM parts. So I mean, no games or anything like that, but we're looking at $40. So let's close that one out and let's look at the next one. So here we had one sold for $44.99, and we will see what was in this one. So this one came with 2 games. Shipping is not available. I'm guessing it's going to cost around $15 once again. This one had a much better positive rating, but yep. So we had the console with 1 controller, 2 games, AV, and I'm not seeing. Oh, yep, there's a power cord. So for about $50, I would assume, is what you're going to run for around eBay. And that's very accurate to what the loose pricing is, because like I said, most of these are the eBay listings themselves. Nothing was sold on price charting. So right off the bat here, we have a good option. eBay, as always, is an option. Now, if you're asking what does complete mean, why is that one $112? A lot of times complete means that you're going to be buying the box with it, the instruction manual. It's basically what you would buy it almost brand new, but it's not sealed. Now the next option we're going to go to is a place that I like to shop personally, and that is Mercari. So I already have it preemptively searched up so we can get for a quicker view. And so let's move my camera so we're not blocking a lot of this. Okay. So we're going to go by, let's go newest first, just so we can get kind of a more general idea. And we're just going to look for the for sale spot. So what's nice about Mercari is it's more of a buy it now website, but you do have the options to make offers and stuff like that. Now, if we're looking down through here, we're seeing around the same amount of pricing. We have a little bit more. But we have Model 2 console right here that's just $23. Doesn't look like it has a cord. Doesn't look like it has any kind of the stuff with it. But that's sometimes really easy to pick up. Now, I don't always recommend getting third-party stuff, guys. But for cheaper consoles like this, it's okay. So as you can see here, you can get the AC adapter and a third-party AV cord for $10. So throw those two together and find a cheap controller. And yeah, once again, we're around $40 or $50. So the listings right now aren't the best. This is probably one of your better options right here. So we have a Model 2 with 10 games, $14 shipping. So altogether, you're looking at around $120. And like I said, you can make an offer for $100, $95, and a lot of times people will work with you. But this one would come with a lot of games, and yeah, so you'd be set to go. $100, you can have a Sega, you can have some games, you can have a controller, and it doesn't look like it's in that bad a shape. I'm not for sure what the value of all these games are, but I know let's see, Mortal Kombat 2 is good. Let's see, RoboCop 3, that one I'm not familiar with, but we got Alter Beast, it looks like an Real Monsters. So we're going to close that back out and go to where we were before. Now let's look at the sold listings. So this is the nice part about this over here, is we can click sold and see what they've been selling for recently. And that, for about $60 right here, we had the console, Sonic Spinball, and Vector Man. And if you're not familiar with Vector Man, very fun game, very weird ball guy. But like I said, you can make offers and stuff. So this was originally going for $90, and it got knocked down to $60 after so long. So that's really nice to see. It looks like it in the comments, just some wear and tear on some of the stuff, but everything works great. So $60. Oh, it even came with Sonic the Hedgehog 2. I must have missed that one. Yep. So you got 3 games. That's a great price, guys. And just lastly, let's find one more kind of basis one. So right here, somebody actually was selling. Oh, wow. So we got an original Sega Genesis Model 2 consoles untested with controllers. So, I mean, power button and reset button are kind of sticky. Press good. Oh, no sticky, actually. Everything looks good. The controllers have been tested. Those do work. But I'm guessing that they don't have the means to test these consoles out themselves. Either that, or they know they don't work and they're just trying to play whatever. But it looks like they don't have the thing. So that right there could have been a very good deal. If somebody got that, you could have got 2 consoles and 2 controllers. And if you would have bought those cheap AV cords and stuff, you would have been set. Now, lastly, we're going to talk about today is we have to throw in kind of a retail setting price. Now, obviously, what's more retail pricing and above than DK oldies themselves? The scam artist, the ripoff, the guy that's going to take all your money and not care. Now, remember when we were looking at all those on eBay and Mercari and how the pricing was pretty decent? We were looking at about $40 or so, $40-$50. Now, we're moving on over to DK oldies. So we have here their Sega Genesis 2 2-player pack. Now you're saying, okay, $85, not bad. Well, this is where the illusion gets people. So now if you read in the description down here, it's a 2-player pack, comes with the Genesis, the TV hookup, the power cord, and the 2 compatible controllers. Now why am I emphasizing compatible? Because these are third-party controllers, guys. So if you're going to be spending this much money for the console, you better get some OEM controllers, in my opinion. But no, this is their option up here. You can substitute to get 2 original 3-button controllers, the OEM, Sega Genesis model, whatever, just the regular buttons right here. So with that being said, you're going to end up spending almost $100, no games, no nothing like that. And what they don't like to mention either on here is you might not get OEM TV hookups or power cords. You might be spending the extra money to get third-party stuff on there too. So that being said, I know we just mentioned that, I don't think I can find it anymore on here, but that third-party, power cords and stuff are like $10, which is true. They're super cheap. But when it comes to something like that, that's pretty ridiculous. So looking more at what we have here, how do you guys figure this makes sense? We have Sega Genesis 2, Sonic 2-pack. For $10 more, you get the Sonic game. Same thing. And I like how here it shows this like you're going to get it cased. But then it says down here that you're just going to get the game cartridge. So with the OEM part, with one OEM controller, $107, you might as well just went that route in the first place. But another thing I don't get is over here. So you got just a regular Sonic 2-pack, the regular Sonic game for $104. Ridiculous. Ridiculous. So now just kind of looking at something else too. You can get the Sega Genesis console only, no cords, no controllers, $65. We were seeing that's a ripoff. You could have almost bought two of them right here for $20 without cords and stuff, and might have had a better chance for these to actually work. But that being said, guys, I mean, this is not your best option. Obviously, DK oldies. Rolling back over here to the main camera. I would recommend, as always, to check out Mercari, to check out eBay. Even Amazon sometimes will have a third-party seller that will give you a decent price for this console. Now, luckily, Genesis is one of the cheaper consoles to get out there. As we saw, it was ranging anywhere from $40 to $60 for the main console, and in decent shape. And the thing I love about them too is if there is some issues with the console itself or cleaning it, it is very easy to open up. I believe it's only like maybe 4 to 6 screws, and you pop the thing off, and then you can air dust to the inside. You can clean it. It's really easy to go. The controllers themselves too, if possible, I'd recommend getting the 6-button one, because if you want to play games like Street Fighter, Shaq Fu and stuff like that, the 3-button controller does not work very well. It does not allow you to punch and kick at the same time. You have to alternate that. So always look for the 6-button controller, guys. So I want to know in the comments below what you guys thought about this video, and if growing up, were you a Sega Genesis kid, or were you a Super Nintendo kid, or did you just happen to blow past the Genesis itself? Now, growing up, I was personally a Sega Genesis kid. No choice of my own. If it would have been my choice as a kid, I probably would have went for the Super Nintendo deal. But at the time, I was only given the option of Sega Genesis, so I was happy with it. I mean, I grew up with Sonic. I grew up with a lot of those great games, and I won't ever regret it. Nowadays, especially, I can just get a Super Nintendo itself. So I want to know in the comments below if you guys were a Sega Genesis kid growing up, or if you have been looking for a Sega Genesis. So with that being said, as always, guys, stay retro, and I will see you in the next video, guys.